Good morning. I want to talk to you today about sacred human geometry. I would say I am really in love with the human body and its amazing abilities. Walt Whitman said that if anything is sacred, the human body is sacred, and I really believe that. There are so many things about the geometry of the human body that fascinate me. And bear with me as I just go through some things. And some of these things you're going to need to actually imagine for yourself. When I think of sacred human geometry, I always think of what we call the Da Vinci Man or the Vitruvian Man, which we see with arms outstretched, and there's this suggestion of the human being within the sphere, within the star, and also within the square. One of the interesting things about the human body is that our arm span, fingertip to fingertip, is generally the same length as our height. So if I were to reach out side to side and you dropped lines down, and then you took the base of my feet and went out as far as those two dropped lines, and from the top of my head out to the two lines, you would basically get a square. And then if I turned around and did the same thing, I would have just described a cube. Isn't that cool? Also, if we go from something like very simple, human being starts out as just a point. By the time we are able to stand, we have become a line. When we are sitting, for example, for meditation, we get this triangle. And we can also form the triangle when we're standing. This five-pointed star that our limbs and our head naturally suggest is something that is mirrored in other aspects of our body too. If we just look at our face, not counting our two ears that form two more points, which would be the 7, also a sacred number like the colors of the rainbow or the notes of the scale. But just looking at our face, we have the 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, and the mouth, suggesting the 5. And each of our hands is like a 5-pointed star. Our feet have 5 toes as well. The number 5 is actually very significant. According to the ancient Hindus, the 5 suggests the mind. So in Sanskrit, the human being is called a manasa, a thinking being. The word for mind is manas, and that M-A-N we find in our own language translated into things having to do with the hand, like manual labor, hand labor, or to manipulate something, to move something with our hands. So these hands are really, really remarkable of ours, these little stars. And I love thinking about all the things that these hands in motion, geometry in motion, can create. And, so much of what we have as human beings comes from these 5-starred hands of ours. Thinking of this body of ours in motion, and not just thinking of it, like having the experience, all of us, of the body in motion, there are just so many remarkable things that the body can do. When I rotate on my axis, as opposed to just being a flat star, I become like a planet in motion. Think about, if you will, some of the things that people do in various sports. For example, when you see an ice skater and you watch that ice skater rotating on one foot, and you see that pulsation of when they reach their arms out and they pull them in, they go so much faster. What a remarkable body in motion, human geometry in motion we have there. I had the opportunity as a gymnast to do cartwheels. And here we are, we've got these beautiful 5-pointed hands and feet that are rolling in motion like the wheels of a cart. So we can also roll like a wheel. And then there's this forward and backward rotating ability. We go into a little ball, we can spin forward, we can spin backwards, either on the ground or in the air. And something about all that ability just reminds me of this moving universe. We can even do full twisting rotations, not just this way, but also this way. So very gyroscopic kind of motion that is possible with the human body. These bones of ours act like lines, and so whenever we're doing some sort of motion, we are able through these lines to create arcs, circles. Our legs can do the same thing. Our whole body is able to create so many shapes, this geometry in motion. And the star keeps coming back to me, this Da Vinci Man's star. As I think of my family scattering the ashes of my dad this weekend, and we scattered them under some growing flowers. And I was reminded of Carl Sagan's quote that we are made of star stuff. And all those little bits of dust that contain all the elements of the stars, they compose these bodies of ours. And what a remarkable thing this is, this human body composed of sacred geometry.